Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? It's Tuesday. Y'all know the lingo, man. Nigga heading to the plantation to do what I do. But peep game, man, we gotta get into this shit, man. And that is Jack Catterall versus Jorge Linares. Man, I enjoyed the fight. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. It was a good fight, but I think it's gonna take somebody like a Josh Taylor to really force the issue with someone like Jack Catterall. Cause what the fuck was this? Oh, that was 9 hours ago. You went so inactive, and I think it was so unnecessary how inactive you was going in periods of that fight, man. Just two punches ain't gonna do it. Two punches ain't gonna do it. Putting one and two together, that ain't gonna do it. We need at least three or four when you're dealing with somebody who's that outmatched. Jorge Linares isn't the fighter that he was, and the last time he fought at 140, he got stopped in one round. You dig? And now, granted, you can't just say, "Oh, well, he was already up here before." That's not always the punchline. That isn't always the end all be all. Sometimes a motherfucker go up there and have the fight of his life. I mean, Sergey Derevianchenko had the fight of his life, and I feel like he won against Jaime Munguia at a higher weight when he's been stopped and beat the fuck up in lower weight. So I'm not shit. They was even contemplating him to not Buddy McGurk, but Andre Rozier was contemplating taking him to junior middleweight. Well, how bad he was getting beat, but he went up there to 168 pounds and really made a showing of himself. So you can't always say, "Yo, you lost in the lower divisions." Nah, it's not all. All fights aren't created equal. I don't know, man. Just you can't. Sometimes it's usually how I go. There's always exceptions to the rule. Even fighters who aren't always the acceptance, who are always the rule, sometimes end up being the acceptance of the rule. So in his situation, I guess he was the accept. In that regard, he was the exception of the rule. But even with that, he's still a little bit more regressed in his career. You could have went in there and really put the tools to him, and you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think just your counter punching is good. Your jab was there. Your jab puffed his eye up early on in the fight, man. The two off of the jab is there, but it's like you'll throw the straight to the body to get him to lower his guard or whatever. But it's like you're not stepping in and committing to body shots to open up shots up top, man. It's not too many hooks. You're fencing a lot with the jab and everything, which that can turn a fight negative in your favor. So, and in his case, it turned negative in his favor. So I get it. It's winning them fights, man. But I feel like you know these are fights that you really need to be pushing to work on shit. I hate being a nigga that tell pros what they gotta work on. I hate being that nigga, Brody. I don't like that. So I'm gonna say work on. I'll say to make work on to make fights more appeasing to you to the fans. You know what I'm saying? I'll say that. I hate being a nigga. Oh man, you need to work on this. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that. But it does remain. Those are facts. You dig what I'm saying? You're spending too much time fencing with the jab. It's no hooks off of the jab. It's ones and twos. Even Sergio Maravilla Martinez, who was one of my favorite fighters, he didn't really, he was known for his straight shots, walking you into that straight left hand. But he was also a prolific puncher. You would see him he put 3 and 4, 5 and 6 punch combinations together on bigger dudes. You know what I'm saying? He was letting them fly on Kelly Pavlik. I think you need to, maybe not to that degree, but you can help to up your punch output. I think you definitely can help to do that. Because I mean, I think Jack Catterall is a really good fighter. But God, if I'm not mistaken, they was booing in there, Brody. Like I could be wrong, but I think they was booing in there, man. And it's not just you. Richardson Hitchens is another one as well. You dig? The zone is building good talent over there, man. But a lot of the talent is like, yo, I'm not watching this dude fight. He's an incredible fighter, but nah, I'm not doing it. That's definitely not the buzz that you want surrounding your name going forward, man. And you're not fresh off of a win over Josh Taylor. But that was your last notable win, Josh. Even though you didn't win, you did win that fight, but that was your last notable, fight with a Josh Taylor. I just think, and you haven't fought somebody on his level since that fight. I just think, you need to be pushing it a little bit more. I think you really, work on the hooks and the uppercuts and shit. And I'm talking committing to the shots, committing to the shots, bro. Because I think you do everything else good. You got good feet, got good defense, good counter punching, good punch placement. When you let the two go, it lands properly. It lands flush. But man, you should have been able to step on the gas, man. Jorge Linares was having success, and maybe that was why you was a little bit gun shy to open up because you felt how big that man's right hand is, which is understandable. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but I think he would have. He had success early on in the fight, and I think after that it was all Jack Catterall. After that, it was downhill momentum for you. You couldn't miss with the one and the two. You couldn't miss. It landed at will. Whenever you wanted to land that right hand or that left hand, you landed the back hand. And he was opening up a lot more as well, man. There was a lot of counterpunching opportunities for you, man. I think being a defensive, being a defense first fighter, I'm not mad at it because you're in a profession, you're in the most dangerous profession in the world. You are. You're in the most dangerous profession in the world, so you definitely want to preserve yourself and make sure that you have all of your motor skills intact when you decide to hang your gloves up or whatever, man. But you are in the entertainment business as well, and people are coming to see you fight. I'm there. I made sure I tuned in to watch the fight. I made sure of that. I'm not saying go in like I like how what my man's name, Elijah Garcia. I was always saying, yo man, what's the middleweight name who just beat Resendez? Elijah Garcia. Him, I don't like. I'm not saying go in there and be like him, where you're just taking just big punches from start to finish. I'm not saying that because I remember even watching that fight, I was like, nah, man, they got to do something about this, bro, because you can't just keep getting hit in the head like that throughout your career and think it's not gonna have effects later on down the line, Brody. If he gets in there with someone who's a respectable puncher, not respect, but like a big puncher, I don't think we have like. Could you imagine him in there with Golovkin? Put it like that. Imagine if Golovkin and Canelo was still at middleweight. They would not be rushing to get him in the ring with either of them dudes because of how, just how complacent he is just standing there taking, trading. So I'm not saying go in there and be like that. I'm simply saying you can stand to open up a little bit more. You can let the 3 and the 4 go. Don't just stay behind the 1 and the 2, my man. Don't just stay behind the 1 and the 2. I can't repeat that enough. Nah, it's not gonna fly, man. It's not gonna fly. And what are you gonna do when you're dealing with somebody who can lead the dance? Teofimo works off of the counter punches as well, but he can lead. Devin Haney proved that he can lead. Like Josh Taylor, I don't think that was the best version of Josh Taylor. I don't. Inactivity, injury. I don't think that was the best version of Josh Taylor, but just he's a dude who can lead. Subriel Matias, bro, like these is dudes who who step to you. These are dudes who step to you, and if they see you're gun shy, you only letting 1 and 2 go. What happens when by the time the 4th and the 5th round come around, and they letting shit go? They open it up, throwing 4 and 5 punch combinations, and you're waiting on an opening. Them ain't dudes that you can necessarily do that with. Even with Regis. Regis is a counterpuncher as well, man, but he's in your chest. Regis can lead. You gotta get to leading the dance. You gotta work your way up to that, man. Otherwise, bro, it's gonna be bad. And I don't want to see that happen. You dig? I don't want to see that happen for you, man. I think you're a quality fighter. You're a good fighter. But you can stand to open up just a little bit more. You feel me? Just get in there and just let a few go. Let a few more go. And it doesn't have that doesn't have to be your your MO. You're like, oh man, he's a firefighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a prolific. He's a counterpuncher. Nah, or not counterpuncher, but a combination. You don't gotta be that, but you can definitely stand to throw three. You can put three together, or you can put four together. Ones and twos is not gonna cut it, my guy. It's not gonna cut it. You already are. You've already proven you're champ. You're a world level fighter. Tongue twisting my words and all that. You've already proven you're a world level fighter. So when you start fighting other world level fighters in your division, yikes, yikes. So even a Jeremiah's Ponce, bro, what would you do in front of him? Because Jeremiah's lets him go. He lets him go. You can stand to open up a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. Because I think you're a really good fighter. You can stand to open up, man. Ones and twos aren't gonna do it. You need to start looking in the future with these fighters that you will eventually be matched up with. There's three. There's two other. I do not want to see you in there with Devin Haney, and I do not want to see you in there with Richardson Hitchens right now, Brody. I do not want to see that. I'd watch it because it's an incredible matchup, and I respect pugilism. I respect the art of pugilism, man. But that is going to be a fight where I'm spending a lot of time on my phone. I don't want to do that. I just think y'all three in particular, maybe not even so much Devin Haney, because I think with Lomachenko, if you're a fighter you can force Devin Haney to open up. You can force him to open up. And if you're a fighter like Bowser, you can force Richardson Hitchens to open up. But I just feel like there was no reason why he shouldn't have been able to open up against a Jose Cepeda, who was launching shit. Y'all need these type of fights that's going to get y'all to open up and not let one and two go. Y'all letting like you going in there trying to lay some shit down, outline a nigga in chalk. Y'all need them type of fights. Y'all need them type of fights, man. And I felt like with Jack Catterall, you are the main example of that. You like, bro. But you're a good fighter, so that's pretty much all all I gotta say about it, man. Good performance. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, but I can't stand I think you could have went in there and really, you know, did damage to Jorge Linares. I think you could have went in there and violated him, but you didn't. Yeah, you didn't. You kind of. I don't know, man. That could just be me. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm burnt the fuck out. But step on the gas just a little bit more, my man. Step on the gas a little bit more. Not to with the intent to knock someone the fuck out, but just that opens up potential to you knocking somebody out. High volume punching. It ain't gotta be high volume punching, man, but just let three go, let four go, and periodically let four go and get into an exchange and increase your chances of trying to get somebody to fuck up out of there, or just make it a little bit more entertaining for the consumer. Because it could lead to a knockout. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping for. That's what we're all hoping to see in these fights, man. But that's all I gotta say about it. I'm going in here to fill up my cup and get to work. Y'all be easy, man. I'll get with y'all later, yo. Deuces.